Alright guys, welcome back to VALORANT News. The conclusion of Masters Tokyo is just around the corner, but a couple of big pieces of information today on the Ascension bracket and the group stages, especially in the Americas, but also Nitr0, formerly of 100 Thieves, looking to now return to the VALORANT team, potentially going forwards as soon as the rostermania period kicks off after Champions concludes. Very much intrigued to hear your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always, I would greatly appreciate it. Couple of teasers as well going around about Deadlock. I'm sure we're going to get something either tomorrow or the day after that, right, on the Sunday for the Championship Grand Final here at Masters Tokyo. We'll also mention quickly for Champions themselves that apparently the tickets for this sold out pretty much immediately, which isn't really a massive surprise. Unfortunately, it's through Ticketmaster, which means you get the scalpers and all the resellers and all this that go along, and apparently within roughly 3 minutes, all the tickets were just gone straight away. So I don't know if they're reserving more to then be released at a later date, or whether if you didn't get them initially, you're going to be in for a hard time. But yeah, it just feels like the distribution of these tickets is not as well executed as it could be, let's say, and it seems like these issues happen relatively frequently. So hopefully they can find a way around this in the future. But yeah, definitely, I know a lot of people wanted to get tickets for, let's say, the entire weekend, but they could only get tickets for like Friday or for Saturday, and, you know, especially for the quantity they wanted. Bit of a mess, but I guess at least there is going to be a lot of interest in actually attending this one. Let's talk then about the Ascension Americas 2023. These are the 6 teams that will be there in attendance. 2 from Brazil, 2 from North America, 2 from Latin America, and the favourites going really are M80, the Guard, and potentially the Union as well. That's the team from the Brazilian side. Lots of controversy actually with that team, in fairness. I think there's some players on the team that have some controversial rumours emerging around them over the last several months really. But still, one of these teams is going to officially get promoted into the franchise league for next season, and they revealed the format and how this is going to go yesterday. So first of all, there's going to be a single round robin group stages with the groups set as this. So the Union, M80 and Fusion all in the same group. So Fusion, I believe, are definitely the weaker of the 2 Latin American teams. When they played in the finals here, TenZ took them down without any issues. A quick 3-0 on Pearl, 13-6, 13-5, 13-3. Like, it wasn't even close, right? So the Fusion is probably, or just Fusion is probably not the best team here. But the Union are definitely the favourites from Brazil, and M80 are the favourites from NA. So they're all in the same group here, which is going to be really interesting, and I believe that actually is the first game of the entire tournament here between those 2 teams. Then Group B is TenZ, we just saw that squad, 0-0 Nation, of course an organisation that's been in Brazil for a little bit of time, and then the Guard. So I think the Guard have quite a nice group here, but still, TenZ are definitely a solid team. 00 Nation, maybe is how you pronounce it, I kind of forget about that, to be honest. So anyway, they're doing the single round robin groups, but all of those teams stay in, right? No one is eliminated in the groups, it's just for seeding, and that will seed you into this bracket. So the number 1 seed in Group A and Group B, they get a bye into round 2, and then the other teams, they slot in to play each other. So let's say you're seed 2 in Group A, you'll play seed 3 from Group B. So that could work out kind of nicely for those teams, but ideally you'll be the number 1 seed and you'll get the bye, and then you go through a bracket like this, and then the winner qualifies for Ascension at the end of the tournament. So a big double elimination bracket. There's a lot of matches to be played, which is definitely justifiable, right? Because this is going to take place in Sao Paulo, I believe, right? And it's going to move to a different venue for the final couple of days. So that is the plan as it stands, and this is how it looks actually from you know, America's Ascension side here on VLR, with just to make it a little bit clearer what those groups are. So they play single round robin groups, so they just play a best of 3 between all the different teams, and then they will have a winner, a second place, a third place, probably, at least possibly, based on map and round differential, and then those teams will get seeded accordingly. So no one's eliminated at that point. Then it goes down to the playoffs, which the bracket looks like this, and then the winner of the grand finals on July the 9th is going to be qualifying for the Americas League for 2024 and 2025. Let's not forget, it's not just 1 season they get promoted for, they get promoted for 2 seasons, and if it's a big organisation as M80 could become, I think that's certainly their plan. They're looking to get into like CSGO, right, and they've brought Psycho in as their VP of esports, you know, a bit of a BS title in some respects, but regardless, he's doing some things over there, and they're looking to expand and become a big org. The Guard, a similar story, right? I mean, look at some of the orgs in Tier 1 right now. Yes, EG are making big progress, but there might well be some organizations out there that struggle over the next year or so, and by the time it comes around to 2026, maybe Riot says, you know what, M80, you qualified a few years ago, instead of dropping you guys back down to challengers, maybe we'll actually partner up with you and you'll become an official partner for the league anyway to stay on, and we'll get rid of some other organization who might not be performing so well at the time. So this tournament, of course, is a massive deal. This is another way to look at it. So yeah, M80 will go in as favourites, but yeah, the first game is against the Union, which is really exciting. So that will really show, can the Union compete here? What level are they on, respectively, to M80? Because we know what they're capable of, and the guard on the other side as well will be in an interesting position as well. So that's what's going on over there. There has also been the Ascension in the EMEA side going down lately. So this is pretty tricky to figure out what's going on here, right? Because you've got all the different things around the EMEA side. So yesterday it went down the play-in groups, and I feel like this was almost, the format here was obviously not optimal in a way, because you've got Group C and Group A, for example, where the team has played a single round robin, best of ones, single round robin, and the top two teams advance. The bottom teams, so Enterprise Esports here, 1-1. This is the team that Benji Fisher used to be on. He's now left to potentially join Heretics, but because they had the worst round counts, they're eliminated straight away. The other two teams that also went 1-1, but with a better round count, they advance to the last chance group stages or to the playoffs respectively for the play-ins. So it's a complete mess, to be honest, here, this entire region. But anyway, that moves on, and the better teams probably will eventually advance to such a time where eventually you're going to get the qualifications through the group stages and then through the playoffs for the EMEA side. Wanted to talk about Nitr0 though as well, because you guys have probably seen lots of rostermania happening lately on the Counter-Strike side, because we're going into Counter-Strike 2 very shortly. The Major concluded a little bit ago. There's loads of roster changes going down. Elige leaves Liquid after I think about 8 years on Liquid as an organization, and then went on to join Complexity. But we know that over the last several months there's been lots of drama with the likes of Nitr0, who of course left 100 Thieves a while ago, played for them, went back to Counter-Strike, had some decent success at the end of CSGO to be fair, and then decided that he's going to effectively call it a day in CSGO, take a new chapter, going to streaming. But he has mentioned that a return to competing is not out of the realms of possibility here.
I was done with CS. I wanted to word it in a way where I didn't want to include the word Valorant in it, because I know it makes a lot of people salty. But like, I'm interested. Like, I would like to compete in those games again. But a lot of people think I'm like retired from gaming completely. Like, how
can you put it?
Of course.
Close enough.
Like, they're just saying it's part of the map. Oh, well, here's an A hit. Let's go. Got him by a trip.
One outside A, man. Hit the rope. Hit the rope, top side.
Oh, let's go.
120 on jet.
One arcade too. You walk through. Already tower on me.
I'm gonna smoke your tower.
On her.
Spike down B.
103.
Next.
Nice.
I'll take the assist.
Some action.
There you go.
So Nitr0 gave some thoughts about this on Reddit, and I thought some of these discussions are very interesting. That the key point to him is that in CS, traveling is happening all the time. They have to go all over the world. It's not a good lifestyle for him and his family. So, as he says, it's way different from CS to Valorant, because in CS I have to be physically gone for more than half the year away from the household. Like I've said before, whatever I do it 100%. So his point is that Valorant, because it's based, let's say he was to join 100 Thieves again, magically, and it might happen at some point, right? And he says, I've got to remove the 100T from my name here, but you know, who knows? CS is not an option for me anymore. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm the best IGL ever or something and try and join a tier 1 team right away. I'm still learning the game, and I'm trying to put in the extra work off stream to make sure I'm learning every day. So, you know, very interesting from Nitr0, pretty much saying that returning to Valorant is definitely a top priority for him, potentially. Whether he would have to do that in tier 2, he did have his time, right, on 100 Thieves and did some pretty decent results. But I think Valorant today is different to how it was a couple of years ago, where, you know, the older CS guard could actually just come in and have some good results. Not sure it's going to be quite so easy, but because Nitr0 has had some decent success in Valorant before, it's definitely more likely he gets a decent opportunity, but it might not straight away be on a tier 1 team. So that's an interesting one to keep your eyes on. Just to close out the video, then wanted to discuss the Tokyo Grand Finals and the Losers Finals, which are coming up tomorrow morning, as Boaster actually says he wants to play EG again in the finals, and this time show true dominance. Now, we've mentioned the V2 advantage that they will probably get by having, you know, the result they did in the winners finals, advancing to the grand finals, getting to ban a couple of maps out of there, choosing the maps they'll play in the grand finals. They should be massively favored whoever they play. And PaperX versus Fnatic would be a very interesting stylistic matchup. I would love to see that with something. I think with Cigarettes, they're still not quite at the strength they could be at with something, but we'll see. Cigarettes has been doing a fantastic job. Maybe EG, if they were to take them down, would be an interesting rematch, but Boaster's like, look, I'm going to destroy you guys in the finals whoever we play. And to be fair, the entire EMEA region is hoping that this guy is going to get them the W so they can actually get an extra spot at Champions, which we talked about in some detail yesterday. So this is how the tournament looks. We're down to the final 2 matches. The first one's coming up tomorrow morning. EG versus PaperX. They usually do best of 5s at this point, right, for the final couple of games of the tournament. Based on performances so far, you've probably got to think that EG should be marginally favored, but who knows, because PaperX have made a phenomenal run in this tournament, and it may well be continuing one further. Very much enjoyed to hear your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Take care, and I'll see you next time.